everybody, welcome back to the channel and some more Hail Caesar action here as we work our way towards the last of the factions to cover for the game here. And today we're moving on in the timeline covering the Early Hungarian list, which covers roughly the 11th through 13th centuries. So let's dive in. It's definitely a cavalry-focused list. You have to have at least 50% of the army be cavalry, and you could actually go all the way up to 100. So this is one where infantry do not have to be there at all, although there's some decent infantry to choose from. Of the cavalry, though, light cavalry has to be more than at least half of all cavalry. Divisions are pretty typical here, though skirmishers are down compared to some of the more recent factions that we've seen, where they can be up to 25% per division of the infantry. But let's jump in here. Not an overly long list, but some interesting things happening nonetheless. So you do have access to sort of just bog standard heavy infantry, so it could be Hungarian, Slav, Croat, or Serb heavy infantry with spears. Nothing to sneeze at all for 26 points apiece there. You do have a sort of more specialized heavy infantry, although only one of them, Croat heavy infantry with double-handed axes up to 1 unit. It does bump that clash up to 8, does change the short range a little bit, which that's fine. For 1 more point, getting an 8 on clash is pretty cool. You then also have Hungarian, Slav, Croat, Serb, or Vlach medium infantry with spears and or javelins. So obviously a nice little discount there, dropping down to 23 points, but also a drop in stats as well. Otherwise, bog standard units so far. You do have full-size medium infantry units with bows, which means you can definitely pour on the firepower there, but also light infantry with bows, and again, normal-size units. So unless you really feel like you need the medium infantry part as far as having a 5-up morale save on some archers, it does not come with medium infantry hand-to-hand abilities, though, because it's down to 5s. So it's a debatable one for you there. So if you really want to focus on keeping the bow troops really out of combat as much as possible, you may as well go with the light ones, although again, no morale save on those, but it's also a 4-point discount. You still get the 3 for short and long range. You do get sort of a minimal skirmisher package here, so just skirmishers with bows. No other skirmisher types there, but small units, so again, more chances for long-ranged firepower, though. So there's a surprising amount here for the list, given what it is. You then move into the heavy hitters of the list, which are the cavalry. You have Hungarian heavy cav with spears and bows. And again, we don't always see heavy cavalry toting bows, but it's an interesting component nonetheless. So yet more long-range firepower here, 32 points, and your typical heavy cav stat line, aside from the bow stats, of course. You then get into Hungarian or Saxon knights, heavy cavalry with lances, so a little more firepower there as far as combat. You can then pay a little bit extra to make them cataphracts, so it does come with a hefty upgrade price of +4, but does give you stubborn. And then 1 unit could actually be Cataphract Knights Teutonic units, so just the 1 unit, but also adds eager and tough fighters for 1 more point. So an upgrade from the upgrade, but really, really powerful there. So if you got the points to spare, you might as well field that one just, absolutely bonkers powerful unit of knights and hope they get plenty of good charges off. We then get into the light area of the cavalry, and then that's Turkic or Hungarian light cavalry with spears and or javelins and bows. A little bit of everything, just bring the whole kitchen sink. 21 points there, medium stat line, small units as well, but again, yet more long-range firepower. So as I said, the list does feature a surprising amount of bow activity here, so really a lot of ability to shower the enemy with the missile action, get some key damage on enemy units, then hopefully charge and break through without too much work. Now you can pay extra to make light cavalry Zeklers, up to half of them. Hopefully we're pronouncing that remotely right. It's only 1 more point, but in addition to the feign flight, adds tough fighters, which is an interesting one on, again, the light cavalry package. So they can, again, do a little bit of work in the odd situation, but really, close combat is best left to the heavy boys there. And then finally, an interesting sort of twist on that, if we want to really get these guys a little more punch into combat as far as the Zecklers go, we can pay 2 points extra and actually bump them up to medium cavalry, which gives us then a 6 for the clash. Not terrible, and actually gives us that medium cavalry morale save line, which again puts them in an interesting spot. So you got sort of medium cavalry that does kind of do a little bit of everything with the ability to shoot at short and long range. Although, again, it's one where it's going to be probably tempting to think that they're better than they are with even though they have faint flight and tough fighters, and maybe expose them to fights that they're maybe not designed for, maybe get a little too eager. So that'd be one just to, I think, have some caution on as far as when and how they're employed. And I would just keep them to things that are more of a sure bet, although the dice will do what the dice do, of course. But that would be one there. But it's an interesting one to have these different types of upgrade paths that they have there. And then, of course, just round it out with the typical Leadership 8 commanders. So an interesting list for the early Hungarians here. You don't have to have any infantry at all, and you can probably get by with it. So you could go all cavalry, or have a decent little mix, but at least half the army is going to be cavalry anyway. But it gives you the ability to throw different things at an opponent and kind of keep them guessing. But again, as we've mentioned several times now, the ability to actually bring a just surprising amount of missile troops. So, and really it could be something where if you just want to leave the close combat to the cavalry and just bring nothing but bow troops essentially for the infantry, that could be an interesting approach too. So like I said, a lot of different wrinkles to what you could field here. Let us know, guys, if you fielded the early Hungarians and what other contemporary lists from Hail Caesar you took them up against, and how you organize your forces with this list. Eager to hear your takes. Be sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll have more Hail Caesar factions for you soon.